All right, thanks, guys. The Blazers take on the Mavericks. That's going to be a 3 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Dallas. Portland opened the betting as the 2-point favorite. They're now minus 2.5. Totals at 219 and a hook. Right now, Dallas is plus $1.10 for some money line cash. Dallas is 8-1 against the spread in their last 9, 19-8 against the spread at home. Portland, on their side of things, is just 43% against the spread when traveling. They're also covering just 37% of their games when taking on teams between 450 and 550. Portland is 67% of their to the over in their games that were played at the current posted total. Meanwhile, Dallas is also 67% of to the over in their games. What am I trying to say here? Dallas is 67% to the over in their games that tipped off at the current posted total themselves. There we go. All right, so with all that said and done, I'm going to purchase the half a point, slide it up, and take Dallas plus 3 in the over 219.5 in that matchup there. All right, before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout, as I always do, and just welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Sunday's NBA, college, and NHL action. But before we go ahead and proceed, just want to remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with an incredible win percentage of 80% in my last couple of weeks worth of NBA plays, you're certainly costing yourself some valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed to that website. Memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well, including my current record in other categories. So once again, please feel free to just hit that pause button right now. Open up your browser. All you got to do is type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a couple of seconds. Link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're currently watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. With all that said and done, let's go ahead and hop right back into some more lines and personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Lakers at the Sixers, 3:30 tip-off in Philadelphia. The Sixers are minus 7, totals 234. 60% of the consensus is leaning toward the Lakers, 82% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Lakers are plus 245 for some money line cash. Philadelphia is 22-6 straight up at home. They rank second in the NBA in home defensive rebounding. The Lakers, on their side of things, rank 27th in defensive rebounding. They're just 3-6 straight up in their last 9, and they're covering just 25% of their games that tipped off at the current point spread. Now, total-wise, the Lakers are just 14% to the over in their games at the current posted total. Give me the Sixers minus 7 and the under 234 in that matchup there. Next game, Suns, Kings, 6 o'clock tip-off in Sacramento. The Kings are minus 8, totals 227.5. Phoenix is plus 285 on the money line. Sacramento is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5. They're also covering 88% of their games as the official home favorite. Phoenix is just 28% against the spread, taking on teams between 450 and 550. They're on a 13-game losing streak. Phoenix, 60% to the under in their games at the current posted total. Give me Sacramento minus 8 and the under 227.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Magic, Hawks, 7:30 tip-off in Atlanta. Orlando opened 1.5 up to minus 2. Total open 224 down to 223. 65% are leaning Orlando, 54% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Hawks are plus $1.10 on the money line. Orlando's 4-1 against the spread in their last 5. They're covering 70% of their games in their last 10. Atlanta ranks dead last in points allowed in the association. They're also just 16% against the spread in their second of a back-to-back. Now, scoring-wise, Atlanta's 5-1 to the under in their second of a back-to-back as well. Give me Orlando minus 2 and the under 223 in that matchup there. Next game, Heat, Warriors, 8:30 tip-off at Golden State. The Warriors are minus 14, total open 222 down to 221. 64% are leaning Warriors, 67% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Heat are plus 890 for some money line cash. Now, Miami's 4-2 straight up in their last 6 on the road, 13-6 against the spread in their last 19 when traveling. Miami ranks first in road points allowed and 6th in road defensive rebounding. Golden State's covering just 41% of their games at home. They're also 5-10 against the spread, taking on teams between 450 and 550. When it comes to the total, Miami 7-2 to the under in their last 9. Golden State 3-1 to the under in their last 4. Give me the Heat plus 14 and the under 221 in that matchup there. All right, let's go ahead and slide into some college basketball, and we are going to begin with this game right here, Cincinnati at Houston. That's going to be a 4 o'clock tip-off in Houston. The Cougars open 5.5 down to -4. Totals 132. 62% are leaning Houston, 51% shaded toward the under. And at the moment, the Bearcats are plus 165 for some money line cash. Now, Houston's 5-1 against the spread in their last 6, a perfect 16-0 straight up at home. Cincinnati ranks 223rd in defending the 3 ball on the road. They're also covering just 25% of their games, taking on teams allowing less than 67 points per contest. Now, total-wise, Cincinnati 70% to the over after 4 or less days off. Houston 67% to the over in their games at the current posted total. Give me the Cougars of Houston -4 in the over 132 in that matchup there. Next game, it is going to be Georgia Tech at Notre Dame, 6 o'clock tip-off at Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish are -5.5. Total was 128 up to 128.5. 60% are leaning Notre Dame, 66% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, Georgia Tech is plus 200 on the money line. Now, Georgia Tech ranks 256th in road scoring. They also rank 229th in road defensive field goal percentage and 252nd in defending the 3 ball on the road. They're just 1-6 straight up in their last 7, 2-5 straight up in their last 7 on the road as well. Now, scoring-wise, Georgia Tech is 67% to the over in their games at the current posted total. Notre Dame 71% to the over, taking on teams averaging 67 points per contest or less. Give me Notre Dame -5 after buying the hook in the over 128.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Northwestern at Iowa, 6:30 tip-off at the Hawkeyes. Iowa's -8.5, totals 144. 65% are leaning Iowa, 57% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Wildcats are plus 355 for some money line cash. The Hawkeyes are 7-2 against the spread in their last 9, 12-3 straight up in their last 15. Iowa ranks 22nd from the stripe, 27th in offensive scoring, and they're covering 70% of their games, taking on teams allowing less than 67 points per contest. Northwestern, on their side of things, failed to cover in 7 out of their last 9. They're also covering just 20% of their games as the official road underdog. Now, total-wise, Northwestern is just 16% to the over on the road, taking on teams allowing more than 72 points per contest. Give me the Iowa Hawkeyes -8 after buying the hook in the under 144 in that matchup there. Next and final game for college basketball, it is going to be Stanford at Oregon, 8 o'clock tip-off at Oregon. The Ducks are -6. Totals 135.5. 69% are leaning Oregon, 64% shaded toward the under. And at the moment, the Cardinal plus 235 for some money line cash. Stanford's just 4-9 against the spread in their last 13, 2-5 ATS in their last 7 when traveling. Stanford is also ranking 128th in scoring, 174th in free throw percentage, and 149th in offensive rebounding. Now, Oregon, on their side of things, they rank 30th in points allowed and 17th in defending the 3 ball. When it comes to the scoring, Oregon is 64% to the over, taking on teams allowing more than 72 points per contest. Stanford 60% to the over, taking on teams allowing less than 67 points per contest. Give me Oregon -6 in the over 135.5 in that matchup there. All right, next and final slate for the show. It is going to be in the NHL. And we're going to go ahead and start with the St. Louis Blues at the Predators, 12:30 puck drop in Nashville. The Preds open 165 down to -155, totals 5.5. St. Louis is plus 130, Nashville plus 180 on the puck line. We have Allen projected in net for St. Louis, Saros projected in net for Nashville. And as I always say in every NHL video, the NHL is not very transparent when it comes to the rosters, the starters, the healthy scratches, the injuries. So that could always change when it comes to the projected starters in net. That could change as soon as after warm-ups on the ice. So once again, as of right now, early Sunday morning, I have Allen projected in net for the Blues, Saros projected in net for the Preds. Now, Nashville's 5-2 against the spread in their last 7. When, of course, when I refer to the spread in hockey, I'm referring to the puck line. So once again, Nashville 5-2 against the spread in their last 7. 15-7 straight up in their last 22 at home. St. Louis, on their side of things, winless in their back-to-backs. 0-6 straight up in their second of a back-to-back. They're winning just 40% of their games, taking on teams allowing less than 2.6 goals per contest. Now, when it comes to scoring, St. Louis is 70% to the under on the road. Nashville, 71% to the under in their second of a back-to-back as well. Give me Nashville